Customer states getting negative miles per gallon. So let's see where the fuel leak is on this bad Chad. We'll cycle the key over and turn on that lift pump. Hopefully the fuel leak's on that side of the pressure system. And there we go. Crystal Geyser or diesel just pouring right out of there. Yeah, no wonder he gets negative miles per gallon. That's definitely the issue. So let's get this apart, get this fuel line repaired. So first thing to tear apart is this intake piece. I don't know what you'd even call it, maybe a T. But both sides boost hoses, and then the one that goes from the turbo right there. You're gonna undo a couple connectors. Not very complicated, just a couple of things. This is like a grid heater or post heater. I don't know diesels very well. There's two other pipe fittings on the other end, so that's what those two hose clamps are. Now you're gonna want to wrap this thing up. This is the hot lead to that post, that heater post thing. So if you don't, that thing's definitely going to arc, spark, and probably sit you in a lawn chair real quick. So the fuel line that's on the passenger side starts at the fuel bowl, the furthest forward fitting, and then that's the hold down clamp. And then there's one fitting at the back of the firewall. It's at the back of the head. I couldn't get good footage of it, but once you get both ends of that undone, then just snake it out of there, and as you can see, that hard line just wore right through that line. So weasel your new line in there. Gotta go underneath that turbo pedestal, which is kind of a pain in the butt. But if you don't undo the batteries, pay very much attention to the 32 hot solenoids that are right next to that line that you're trying to snake in there. Now that is a quick way to arc and spark yourself and sit you down in a lawn chair like Home Alone. So pay attention when you're sneaking it in there and do your due diligence and make sure you don't touch nothing. Then start that front fitting and then start the back fitting, and don't tighten them down all the way. Then put your lockdown tab there, or your hold down tab, and then afterwards tighten them the rest of the way down once you have all three all started. But once the bottom two are in, it goes relatively easy. Then just retighten all your hose clamps, put them all back on there, and make sure everything's nice and snug. These diesels only make 40 pounds of boost or so everything needs to be nice and tight. Cycle your key on, that way you don't see any fuel leaks anymore, and then there you go. It's kind of a bad economy to have a fuel leak when diesel is about $6 a gallon. But we got them right. Get it on out of here and on to the next one. Hit that bell and be sure to subscribe for more.